Hey everyone, welcome back to Sarah's Vegan Kitchen and to another What I Eat in a Day video with lots of plant-based meal ideas. I will have all the recipes linked down below. I just added a ton of new recipes and photos to the blog, so check those out. This video is also sponsored by Skillshare. I have a discount code in the information box for the first 1,000 people who use it. I'll give you more details on that later, but let's have some coffee first. I'll be honest, I've already had 1 cup of coffee and I don't usually have more than one, but I slept like trash last night, so we gotta do it. It has been so hot in Colorado lately, so we are in a cold brew mood. I've been making my own. I'm running out, so I need to brew a new batch, which I might do later. I'm feeling a little lazy right now. And then still oven, silk half and half, till the day I die. I've been working on a blog post about how I make my cold brew as well, so stay tuned for that. I showed the Torani sugar-free vanilla syrup in a previous video. I've really been enjoying their sugar-free almond roca. It's so good. I don't think that the original almond roca flavor is vegan friendly, but their sugar-free one is. This brand makes so many flavors and they have an allergen guide on their website if you want to make sure that you're getting something vegan friendly. A little sploosh of that. I actually really miss eating almond roca candy. It was like one of my favorites. That and Ferrero Rocher growing up. So good. So for breakfast, we're actually kind of going to be having a lunch food. It's typically a lunch food. I don't really follow those rules. I just eat whatever I want. Yesterday I made a big batch of tofu egg salad. I used to love egg salad growing up. My mom used to pack me egg salad sandwiches, and it's just one of those nostalgic foods, and I always have to make the sandwiches on like squishy white bread. So I picked up some of that from Trader Joe's. I need to figure out how to make it from scratch too. Let me talk you through this recipe. It's super easy. It's basically exactly like making classic egg salad. The only thing that's different is you're using tofu instead of eggs, of course. I like to use medium firm tofu. I just find the texture works a little bit better in this recipe. It's kind of like smoother and squishier than extra firm tofu, but you can use extra firm tofu too. To get that eggy kind of smell, use black salt, which you can find at an Indian market if you have one locally, or you can buy it online pretty easily. Then I also add in some nutritional yeast just to kind of boost the savory factor, and then everything else is pretty much exactly the same as regular egg salad. Some mayo, mustard, diced up celery, fresh dill. I add a little bit of lemon juice, which is optional. I just think it brightens up the flavors a bit. Salt and pepper, mix it all together. You can eat it right away. I think it actually tastes a little bit better if you let it sit and kind of marinate in the fridge for a few hours or overnight, so I'm sure this will be better today than it was yesterday. Just gonna throw together a little sandwich. And I just pile it on as much as I can get on the bread. Gonna add on a little bit of smoked paprika. Gotta give it a nice little squish. Just cement everything in there. I always like to cut on a diagonal. There we go. She is beautiful. It's just such a nostalgic flavor for me, and sometimes white bread is just the only thing that works. I don't know if any of you guys watch Gilmore Girls. I think there was an episode where Elaine's mom made tofu salad sandwiches for some sort of town function. I know they were supposed to be really bad in that show, but honestly, tofu egg salad, it's bomb. Hey guys, quick pause to say a few words about the sponsor of today's video. I'm once again working with Skillshare. They're an online learning community with thousands of different courses on all sorts of topics, everything ranging from graphic design, videography, productivity, lots of courses on social change, finance, entrepreneurship. So it's an awesome platform to explore your interests, connect with like-minded people with similar interests. And I think it's great whether you are just wanting to kind of dive deeper into an existing hobby to have that creative outlet, or maybe you want to polish a few skills or learn new ones for your professional life. I've been on both sides of that equation. So over the past couple years, I've taken Skillshare courses on photography, photo editing, marketing for my business, and I've also, just out of personal interest, taken a few courses on music theory and at-home music production in Logic Pro. Currently I'm working through a Skillshare course on CSS, which is a very new topic to me, so it's been a lot, but it's been very fun. I have been really wanting to prioritize my recipe blog lately, so I wanted to learn a bit about CSS so I could have more control of the back end and the layout and design of my website. I actually just did a full redesign, which I'm very happy with. You know, running my own business online over the past couple years, I have definitely had to wear a bunch of different hats. So this courses like it on Skillshare have definitely helped me continue to learn and grow over the past few years. And if you're interested in trying out Skillshare, I'm gonna have a link in the description box below. The first 1,000 people to click it will get a free 1-month trial of Skillshare. So I hope that you guys enjoy it. If you do sign up, let me know what courses you end up taking.
Hello, my name is Eric, and I'm filming this for YouTube.
Not under duress.
Not under duress. That was a weird way to start. Okay, I'm gonna try the egg salad that Sarah made on the Trader Joe's white bread. I got some of this hot sauce you probably never heard of. It's called sriracha. The bread is stuck to my mouth. It is so good. It's so good. The texture is so eggy. All the flavors are right. It's salty. When you were making it, I could smell the black salt. I was like, I said to you, it literally smells like you're hard boiling eggs.
I'm always shocked at how much it smells like eggs.
It's crazy. Honestly, it doesn't really get much better than that. It's like the perfect sandwich filling. Good job, baby. Eats the entire half a sandwich in 1 second. For lunch, I just wanted to throw something together really quick, so I sauteed some chopped onions, red and green bell peppers in a little bit of olive oil. To that, I added garlic and sauteed some more. And then some chickpeas. I had made a huge batch earlier that week in the Instant Pot. About a tablespoon of the harissa paste from Trader Joe's. Some fresh black pepper and salt. Then a few shakes of ground cumin. And some chopped fresh parsley. And I simmered all that for about 5 minutes, and this was just a super easy, healthy meal. It took maybe 10 minutes to throw together all in all. So I'm not gonna make dinner right now, but I did want to get a little bit of the prep work out of the way. I'm gonna be making pizza later, and I wanted to make some homemade vegan mozzarella. I have my recipe linked down below on my blog. You can get a printable recipe card if you want to try it out. It's a cashew-based cheese. It comes together really quickly, actually. I just wanted to do it a little bit ahead of time because it does need to firm up in the fridge. So here I have half a cup of soaked raw cashews. I like to use this Ninja blender instead of my Vitamix when I'm working with kind of like a smaller volume, just because you kind of have to add a lot of volume to the Vitamix for the tamper to reach it to get everything really smooth, and you don't need to add that much to this to get it all blending. Some water. I'm gonna use the juice of half of a lemon. I'm also gonna add in a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. This is just gonna give it that cheesy kind of tartness. I'm also going to be adding in a little bit of fresh garlic. I know actual mozzarella doesn't taste like garlic, but I feel like every recipe that calls for mozzarella usually tastes good with garlic in it. So I'm going to throw that in there for some extra flavor. I also have a 1/4 cup of vegan butter. It should be melted, but this has been sitting out on my counter for a while and it's pretty soft, so I'm just going to chuck it in. Ooh, messy. All right. Get every last bit in there. Then we're gonna add in some tapioca starch. This is what is going to give our cheese that stretchy texture. About a 1/4 cup of this. I don't recommend substituting in a different kind of starch for this. Usually you can for, you know, baking, but tapioca is really the only thing that'll give it the stretchy texture we're looking for. Let's do half a teaspoon of salt And these are all the ingredients for the recipe as I have it written on my blog. It does thicken and firm up, and you can slice it, but it's not firm enough to grate. So I'm going to be adding an extra ingredient, and that is agar powder. Again, this is optional. It's just if you want it to have a little bit of a firmer texture. Add that into here, and we're going to blend everything up till it's nice and smooth, and then we're going to cook it. Went a little bit past the max fill line here, so hopefully that's okay, living on the edge. So now that this is completely smooth, I'm gonna transfer it to a little sauce pot here, sauce pot. Oh, it even smells like cheesy already. We're just gonna cook this over medium high-ish heat, stirring constantly. It's gonna thicken up, come together in one big old blob. So I've got it just over medium heat, and you want to just keep stirring it pretty constantly, and it will gradually thicken. Just keep it moving. You don't want any of it sticking to the bottom and burning. And as the tapioca starch just keeps getting activated, you can see it's starting to gradually get stretchier, but it's not quite done yet. It genuinely smells like Alfredo sauce right now. Okay, this is the stage we're looking for. You can see it really wants to stay together in one piece. It's coming away from the pot really cleanly, not sticking or leaving any sort of film. And it should release from your little saucepan nice and cleanly. You can see there's no residue. This I just lightly greased with some olive oil so that it's easier to release later. I'm gonna pop this in the fridge just so it firms up. If you want to just use it right away, you totally can. You can just spread it on your pizza crust if you want. In that case, you don't have to add the agar again. Another thing I wanted to get a head start on for dinner is the pizza crust. I'm gonna be using the Easy Vegan Gluten-Free Pizza Crust from the Minimalist Baker blog. I've made this, I think, a handful of times on the channel. It's a recipe I come back to a lot, and obviously I don't eat fully gluten-free, and I love me a good wheat-based pizza dough, but I tend to really like baked goods that are grain-free, especially if they are almond flour based, so I thought we would make that tonight. So this is almond flour, and we're gonna add in a couple types of starches to bind everything together. This is potato starch. It's got a new bag of arrowroot powder, some flaxseed meal, salt. Recipe calls for oregano. I'm not going to add any because I don't love that flavor, but I am going to add some garlic powder. Going to add in some olive oil, some baking soda. Give this a nice whisk. And, you know, I feel like we're going to be going in with our hands anyway, so I'm just gonna do that now. Okay, and then I'm gonna start adding in water, a couple tablespoons at a time. Give it a little bit of a knead in here just to make sure it's all evenly hydrated. Here's our pizza pan. I cut out a parchment circle to fit it. And we are going to roll out our crust. This is a silicone pastry mat. And I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil to my hands just to keep it from sticking. So I give it a little head start with my hands, and then I'm going to get my rolling pin and roll it out the rest of the way to about 1/4 inch. I'm just gonna keep checking periodically to make sure I'm keeping it fairly round. One more little peek, and I'm just gonna kind of pat the edges back together so they are smooth. So according to our pastry mat, this is a 12-inch diameter. We are going to, if we can, invert this onto the parchment. Beautiful. Drag this guy over. I'm actually gonna pop him in the fridge till we are ready to bake our pizza. I want to test out a dessert recipe. I'm not really sure how well this is going to turn out. Hopefully well. So we're going to try making chocolate mousse with aquafaba. I just made a huge batch of chickpeas in the Instant Pot, and this is literally all aquafaba.
The aquafaba is way thicker when you make chickpeas from scratch, right? Than the can.
Yeah.
It's like literally gelatinous, just already.
Yeah,
basically.
so it's much easier to get these to whip to stiff peaks.
I'm gonna do it because it's something I can be good at.
Good at. I am going to measure out half a cup of this. It's so chunky. Okay, got the hand mixer. I'm gonna have Eric whip this, and I think we want to whip it until it's as stiff as possible, as in like you could hold it over your head and it doesn't fall on you. And then in the meantime, I'm gonna melt one of these semi-sweet baker's bars. I have it chopped up here.
Can we acknowledge Sarah's amazing shirt over here? Let's go Mets, baby. Can I whip?
Uh-huh.
So let me just show you already. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that. That was only like 30 seconds or something, right? Mm-hmm. And it's already so frothy. It's been a few minutes, and that's what we're working with. How do I test if it's stiff? A little more?
A lot more.
A lot more? Really?
Meanwhile, I just melted the chocolate till it was smooth, 30-second blast in the microwave. I'm gonna let it cool down a little bit before we add it to the aquafaba. And since we're at this stage, I'm gonna go ahead and add in some cream of tartar. This is gonna help stabilize the protein in the aquafaba meringue.
I can't stop whipping.
All right, what do you think?
I think you said do it another minute and then we'll do the test over your head, and I said, huh?
Okay, go for it.
Really?
Yeah.
All the way upside down?
Sure. I'm scared. Okay. Okay, another test is take that spatula, please. Give it a little scoopy. I'm doing an extreme zoom on you. So the stiff peak, as you can see, that point is not drooping.
It's like my hair when I wake up in the morning.
Yeah, you want it to be stiff, okay? So we're gonna fold in our chocolate now, and hopefully it doesn't all collapse.
Can I do it?
Yeah, so we just worked really hard kind of to whip as much air as possible into this, so we do not want to collapse it. Okay, ready? Let's start with that. Okay, let's do another addition. I was really tempted to add some coconut cream to this, but I wasn't sure how it would affect the texture. I tasted it, so I'm gonna add in a little bit of confectioner sugar and a little bit more cocoa powder. I'm gonna sift it in so there's no chunks. And we're going back to folding. I have put them in my little leftover Culina yogurt pots, and I'm gonna fridge them so that they set up a little bit more. We'll try them. Hopefully they're ready by the end of tonight.
It's only 10.
It's kind of late already.
It's funny we had the exact opposite opinions.
Hey guys, so it's a different day. I just realized I forgot to film an outro, so I wanted to hop back in and thank you guys for watching today's video, especially if you made it all the way to the end. This was a longer one. I will have the recipes linked down below on my blog. I'm trying to get better at actually writing out all of my recipes in case you guys want to make them. And then one last thing, Eric and I are dropping our first single, We Make Music, if you didn't know. It's going to be coming out on July 23rd, which is this coming Friday. and it's going to be on all streaming platforms. If you wanted to pre-save it or pre-order it, I'll have the information linked down below. We'd be very, very, very grateful. And yeah, thank you. We'll see you very soon. We're going to be traveling to New York for a couple weeks to visit Eric's family, and hopefully we'll do a couple of vlogs there, some fun videos. If you guys live in New York, upstate New York, and you have any recommendations as to what we should do or see there, let us know as well. And I'll see you soon. Bye.